Well, even the other girls they competed against there, like we all just thought it was, and I'm not even trying to be rude, we thought on their Instagram to find them getting married as a man.
Wow.
In 2020. And I was like, oh, that's not that long ago.
So I saw you came across my timeline. I found you on TikTok. I saw us scrolling through and I saw the video of you competing against trans woman Cordelia Gregory. I hadn't heard of them before, but I saw the video and I saw you talking. You were really compelling. And I was like, wow, good for her speaking out. So I left a comment and not thinking you'd respond. And then you did. So I was like, holy shit. Oh, awesome. Because I've been like very curious about the topic. And a lot of my curiosity has to do with the fact that it feels like I can't speak about it. Like I'm feeling this like internal sense of like my thoughts aren't allowed to be spoken. And I don't know why that, or I guess I have some ideas of why that is, but how was that? Did you have that experience where you felt like you shouldn't speak out? Did you have that like hesitation there?
I mean, I was gonna say something regardless, whether it be private or online, because I just don't think it's right. I've been an athlete my entire life, and I know if I had to compete against boys when I did archery, I never would have won worlds. I never would have been able to achieve what I achieved. So
exactly,
to compare it to somewhere I'm fighting, it's like I know. I'm like, I'm not gonna get hurt. Sure, I was almost say compete, but I train with men, but we have this mutual understanding to not hurt each other because we're training partners. We're not going 100%. We're just there to make each other better. But in competition, you're going 100%. You're trying to hurt this person.
Exactly. So if you want, I don't know if anyone has seen the clip yet. Maybe we can watch this together. The video that I saw of you. There we go. Okay.
I am excited.
Oh, there you go. Get the gift wrap. Get the gift wrap. 1 second. Oh, that's real fun. Fight the grip. Fight the elbows, Cordelia. Try to push up the elbows.
I just want to pause it and say it's such a high, beyond just the fact that you're fighting, it's a very physically high contact sport. Your bodies are very much up against each other. What was that like? What was that part of the experience like for you?
I mean, I wasn't thinking anything of it at the time, just because it's what I do. It's not we try not to sexualize the sport. Yeah, here, like, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about trying to choke someone.
And how different did it feel than like other times that you're fighting another biological woman?
So since I knew this opponent was like, a lower level in belt, my plan was to go and work a different part of my game. But I immediately abandoned that because they were so much stronger than me. And I was like, all right, I panicked and I'm like, just go back to what you always do. And this, like, what you see here is what I do under the back of their head. And then I grab this sleeve and I roll the arm over their neck. And then, it chokes them.
Wow. All right, let's finish.
It's called an Ezekiel choke. It's my favorite of all time.
Choke. And that was the winning move, right? Or I guess we'll see. Let me. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll start to get my knee through the legs, and it'll.
Awesome. How did that feel there when you beat that? That's the first round of a couple, right?
Yeah, that was the first of two. We only had 2 matches, which, I wish it was only 1 and I could have just went home.
Right. So when you do a competition like this, how many matches do you do throughout the competition? Is it like multiple? You go up multiple?
This was my only match.
That was your only competing against that one person? And what was your knowledge beforehand?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I knew this person competed against people, like competed against women for a while, like because you can see their record when you register. I'm like, okay, you fought women before, and then people kept asking if I was fighting a dude, and I'm like, no, they've fought women before.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's not in my brain, like, and that's how it went under the radar for so long.
Mm-hmm. This person, how they got into the competition was they just on like a form hit female, and then that's that, and then they showed up and no one
an online
said anything.
form. Yeah.
None of the people facilitating the event were like said anything.
Well, even the other girls they competed against there, like we all just thought it was, and I'm not even trying to be rude. We thought this was but there's no other way to say it. There's no other way to say it, and I don't like. We thought it was an ugly old woman, a 6 foot tall, ugly old woman.
I mean, it could be. Women come in all shapes and sizes, you know. So,
but like when it has clear kind of male features, you're like, oh, okay.
Wow. So what moment did you realize?
I had to go because I was suspect, and we've been talking, you know, I look a bunch of stuff up and I can find just about anything in the jiu-jitsu world. I went on their Instagram to find them getting married as a man.
Wow.
In 2020. And I was like, that's not that long ago.
Wait, 3 years ago?
Yeah, and then they started competing with women, I think 2 years ago.
Holy shit. Wow, that's crazy. Because actually I was like looking up a couple studies on this because I mean we all know, except for some people apparently, but we all know that there are very huge biological differences between men and women. These are separated categories for a reason, like, you know, beyond the, you know, competing fairness, it's that physical safety issue because men are on average up to 40% stronger in their muscle mass, which is great. That's a crazy difference. And just physiologically, like if you look at like female versus male bodybuilders, just like the levels that they can get to, it's so the way we store fat is so different. Like it's so different,
and like you're judged differently based off of your sex. So like you'll judge a woman off of her waistline there. I mean, I guess you judge a man off theirs too, but like usually the wider a man is, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a woman, the more narrow the waist, they're like, okay, good bodybuilder.
Yeah. It's totally different. But even I read there was one study from I think the British Journal of Sports Medicine. It said that they did some tests on trans women to see the differences, and even after 14 years of being on hormone suppression, they found that a lot of trans women still retained 20% average higher strength than cis females. But the fact is we don't have a ton of studies on the topic, but everything we do have seems to all be saying that this is not fair and it's not working. You know?
I don't know how it's not like the most obvious thing in the world.
That I think it was like we're like frogs in like boiling water where it like